targets up as Ragnaros landing a 4-man Sulfurous Smash, Durance of Hate from Mephisto, and this combination executed perfectly at the end of the game.
From Alarak, make it a quad kill set up by that East.
Wow, did you see that mosh pit? 4-man mosh pit while on a conveyor belt. That was like a regular sushi line.
Nukerak, 4 at 50%. Both cores are just absolutely melting. Which one's going to go down first? I think this is going to be Respect the Gooses. Oh my goodness.
Ring. Oh my goodness, the ring. Jaina just pulling up everybody here. That's a 4, make it 5
And it
for
does
nothing.
not fall up. What a play. Oh my God, somebody please clip that.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. In the middle of the night, we're going to bring you a cast between Division D West teams, PSISTORM and Cool Cats and Kittens. I am joined by none other than a sleeping Alpha, but also by Lulu.
Fair that Alpha gets introduced before me.
I mean, if you're going, you know, my right to left, Alpha's next, and then you're next on the screen. So it only makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm. See, the thing is, when I have one of the cats on the stream with me, they're my co-caster, because I'm co-caster, but you're the main caster. So is Alpha also a co-caster, or is she just a co-caster?
I believe she's the co-caster, and then you then default to the co-caster.
Yikes. I mean, like, I can leave and just, you know, Alpha can do the cast with you. That's fine.
I mean, that seems like it would be silly. Besides, we have such a great game coming up ahead of us. Would you really want to miss this? I can't believe you missed this.
Would not, which is why I coerced you into casting it. Div
You know what?
D,
This is
always a good time.
Alrighty.
Cats and kittens.
Yeah, PSISTORM, Cool Cats and Kittens, got a couple of crazy names and some interesting logos there.
And like the same portrait? Question mark?
All except for Ron.
I've heard that the winner of this match gets to keep the portrait. So.
Oh, interesting, interesting. Guess we'll see. Well, you know what? Let's take a look at what we have for map bans here. We started off with the bans from PSISTORM. They banned out Towers of Doom and Brax's Holdout. Cool Cats and Kittens, they banned out the Alterac Pass and Sky Temple. Sky Temple, this season's lowest selection for map so far, even behind Brax's Holdout by a not insignificant amount. The selection for our first map is going to be from Cool Cats and Kittens, and they've picked Battlefield of Eternity. And just taking a quick peek at the standings, we do have a double round robin in Division D West. There are actually 7 teams, so let me fix that. Let's see all of those teams. And we're going to see number 2 and number 5 currently. PSISTORM being number 5 with 7 points, and Cool Cats and Kittens just slightly ahead of them with 10.
Could be all tied up if there's a domination tonight.
Could be. Absolutely. Some interesting teams here in Division D West. Some new teams, at least some new names. Obviously, Cool Cats and Kittens, a new name. The NGS, we got Artemis, the Choo Choo Boys, and Luigi and Knuckles at the Olympic Games. So, quite a variety of teams here.
Yeah, and then you've got the classic Team Rainbow Strike Go, which is one of my personal favorites.
Absolutely, sitting at the top there. Kind of like the cats that are on top of your head.
Or Flynn currently staring at me, wanting me to turn on the laser light.
Indeed. So Battlefield of Eternity. So this is cast number 3 for me tonight, and BOE has not been the selection. In fact, I think it's been banned both prior series. So looking forward to this 2-lane map. Oftentimes we see a fair amount of fights over the Immortal, and a lot of race heroes. One of those auto attackers like the Rainer, the Vala, or Tannis getting a little bit of a buff.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe even
What's the
some
first
Bloodless
ban?
Rhaegar.
I love Bloodless Rhaegar.
First ban's gonna be Cho.
Oh. Solid Cho first ban. Wonder if there's some scouting there.
I mean, there certainly could be. Cho'Gall can be kind of a pain on this map, so if they've played it before, I mean, so be it. It works.
Yeah. You'd really love to see the Gall ban, though. Gall never gets any love.
We usually, if we're gonna ban one of them, we try to ban the Gall. He's the second head.
Yeah, doesn't get the respect he deserves, really. Everyone always bans Cho, doesn't ban the Gall.
And Gall's the brains of the operation. Murda coming in with a raid. Thank you very much, Murda. Doing a little bit of NGS casting, I believe, over there. Hope that was an exciting series. We are just getting started.
Biggest brain play is to ban them both, though. Cho and Gall.
Oh, they'll do that on the 3rd ban phase.
That's a good point.
Murda with the let's goes in chat. Stoic coming in as well. Stoic, were you co-casting with Murda? Sonya going to be the final ban of the first round here. Of Greymane, Sonya, and then of course the Cho and the Mal'Ganis.
First pick going to be...
I mean, I expect it'll probably be either like Johanna or I think it'll be a race hero. Maybe like a Rainer. Well, I mean, Zool's a thing. Zool is a thing.
He is, and he's also a hero in this game.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I'm just here to help. You've had a long day, 3rd match casting.
Now, so far, all the matches have been 2-game series. We'll have to see if we get a 3-game set. Which, of course, we will, because this game started at midnight. So, there's no way they're getting a 2-game series.
Out of spite, they will go 3 games because it's midnight already for you.
Yep. Well, there's the race hero and the Johanna, so they're picking them up just a little bit later than I had suggested. On the other side, though, we've got the Lucio and Li Ming, so pretty good damage in onto the Immortal, pretty good PvP value against the other players. Li Ming can do a lot of damage. Lucio gives him a lot of potential for those shields, but also a quick disengage or engage.
Lucio is a speedy boy.
Straza, the final ban here for Cool Cats and Kittens.
Here comes the Gall ban.
Could be. East.
I guess they didn't have the gall to do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, my co-caster this evening seems to have just shorted out. Can't hear anything from that end of the Discord for some strange reason.
You know, Discord's had a lot of problems lately. Wouldn't surprise me.
Gonna get Lunara and Muradin, so they're a couple of race value heroes. Lunara obviously with Nature's Culling, Muradin with the Sledgehammer, and you know, Sledgehammer can do quite a bit of damage to the Immortal, so we'll see. Right now, I think that with the Exterminator, Raynor's still kind of in the lead, depending on the type of Li Ming you go. If we see something like Seeker, then I think that the edge is in favor of Cool Cats and Kittens. And that may remain, as Orphea doesn't have great race either. But she's got some great team fight, and I think she's a very strong mage at this point. Probably one of the best when played well. So we'll see if they can execute those combos.
Yeah, she's also kind of been, I feel like, under the radar. She's a strong mage, but doesn't see a lot of play.
They're gonna pocket pick Gaul. Can't play Cho, you just get Gaul. You can only use all of his abilities in the graveyard.
What you do is you have someone mount up on the train, and then Gaul moves around on the train. Don't actually.
So what? He's just a floating head?
Oh. I didn't consider the science of that part of it, to be honest. I assumed he would have the body, just be unable to move the body.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I like the idea of Gaul's head just floating around the map, but you know,
It's very Cadgore in WoW. Just the floating ball of head.
indeed, the ball of wisdom or wisdom ball.
Yes, something like that.
Well, these are our drafts. Who do you think has favor here?
It's either going to be PSISTORM or the Cool Cats and Kittens, Aero.
I have to say that I believe that you are correct in that.
Wait, how are you feeling about it?
You know what? I think that you know, both of these teams have different strengths, and again, depending on what Li Ming takes, the race might go over. Right now, I think it's pretty even, but if they talent for it, I think Cool Cats and Kittens has a slight advantage. But we'll have to see. Let's get our teams introduced. Why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Okay. So for PSISTORM, we've got Smoke on the Zool, we've got Valera on Orphea, Xeno Ender on the Raynor, Ron on Stukov, and Cyan on Johanna.
All right, and for Cool Cats and Kittens, we have Descolada on Muradin. We got Cathal playing the Li Ming. Desperado going to be zipping around on Lucio. Gork on the Lunara. And Rexar up in the top lane going to be played by Beowulf.
Okay, I like the name Gork.
Gork. So talent-wise here, Party Mix going to be the selection here for Lucio. So he's already roughly about a quarter of the way done with that quest. Haven't even gotten to level 2.
What's Raynor doing?
Well, Raynor's setting up for this this camp. And that's a fantastic play to like kind of sneak away, get out of line of sight, zoom all the way up to the top. They have, you know, no specific reason to believe that he's up there. Although Zool being a little cheeky there, trying to move in and maybe soak those minions. Leisha almost making a bad day for Smoke. And first camp going to be picked up at 120 on the... What were you going to say?
Oh, I said that they did get the camp, even though Raynor was gone for a really long time. They never checked up there.
Well, they might have been thinking that he went to the Shaman camp, but now that Raynor's back here in the bot lane, I mean, they have to know that they're down here, right? They were fighting down here, so they do come down to poke it out, and Johanna has Unstoppable, so she can stay on this point for a good long while. The penetrating round pushing Muradin back, and he's getting very low Just a few more hits would do it, but ultimately accepting that they picked up the camp, PSISTORM going to go ahead and start pushing in this bot lane with the Kha'Zar to help him out. Top lane has the siege camp still going as well. Rexar just now finishing that off, but Zul doesn't have a lot of health. My guess is he doesn't have a tap either.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he used it already. I don't know what the cooldown left is at this point. But it's stressing me out seeing him in lane with, like, no health.
Yeah, I mean, he does presumably have his shield at this point, but one Misha stun and Zul is going back to base and not the safe way. Both teams going to work on their Shaman camp, and that Shaman camp here for PSISTORM is going to go out first. It is Exterminator for the Rainer, so they're going to get started on the Immortal, and they've got it about 25% down before Cool Cats and Kittens making their way in. Murden looking for the Rainer, the stun going out, but the silence from Stukov going to help to disengage, as Lucio going to be the first blood, Misha following right there behind, and Beowulf has no Misha, just trying to run away. Murden helping to kind of zone out to make sure that Rexar does not fall. And Orphea getting caught by the Immortal stun there, taking a nice hefty arcane orb right to the face. But as mentioned earlier, you know, she's got the ability to heal herself up a little bit whenever she uses her abilities on enemy heroes, getting additional damage and healing on her next auto attack.
Now, here comes the real fight. Oh no.
Now, under the red Immortal here, this does favor a little bit Cool Cats and Kittens. It is slowly falling though. And so far, really just Rainer who's very low, although Cyan getting a bit low too. And Arcane Orb there onto Xenoender, almost ending that fight. But it's a little bit too late.
Yeah, they just couldn't stop the poke damage that PSISTORM was able to get in.
And
That
the
could have
Immortal,
gotten
pretty
real
healthy.
bad if Li Ming had gotten a reset there. That could have been very, very bad for PSISTORM.
Yeah, they had a couple of heroes that were very low. Obviously, the Rainer, the closest to death. But if you get a full round of Li Ming combos back and available, yeah, you lose more people very quickly. Now, she only had about 25% mana there, so probably couldn't have really taken out the whole team in that one, but still a lot of damage.
And is overrated.
For sure. Which team is the favorite in the standings? Well, they're both very close. There's 3 points that separate them, but I don't think they've played the same number of games. So I would say that this is probably a pretty equal match. In the bot lane, Zul got a little bit of value onto the wall, not a whole lot. Murden jumping over the wall to kind of return the favor of earlier, Johanna coming in onto the point. But she still has her Unstoppable. That is gone now. Murden falling very low. In fact, is going to find his way to a quick death. But they're not done. Reset's coming in. And that is a triple. Make it a quad kill. A little bit of taunt action there.
Just Li Ming things. All you need is the one reset, and then that happens.
Indeed. One reset opens up the potential to kill everybody.
Yeah, because, you know, usually Johanna pretty good at staying on a point and living, which is how they got the bot lane camp earlier, but, yeah. Li Ming.
Yeah, starting off with the kill onto Orphea really opened up the door for them to pump the damage into that team. So, camp was picked up there by Cool Cats and Kittens, and because of their value in that fight, they're actually going to get the bottom camp as well, and that's a good timing here, sending that bottom camp into the bottom fort. Jason coming in with a raid. Appreciated. Hope that your cast there was a good one, an enjoyable one. Welcome everybody from Jason's stream there. We're in the middle of game number 1 between PSISTORM and Cool Cats and Kittens, the Division D West matchup. And level 10's available here for Cool Cats and Kittens. They do have, they're actually a little bit behind in the race. Surprisingly, they're up a level now. I don't know that they were the bulk of that, but a little bit surprising it worked out that way. Now, the defense coming in from PSISTORM here, and we'll see if it's enough. I can't imagine they...
No.
Yeah, right? I can't imagine that Cool Cats and Kittens really disengages too much here, because they want this fight with 10.
Yeah, they're up 10, so but they're not really trying to fight, which is just giving PSISTORM time to get 10. But
yeah.
I guess if Lee just pokes down the Immortal, you don't need to fight.
Indeed, and they're going in now.
Zool explodes.
Zool the first to fall, but Lucio pays for it as well. Misha dying for a second time in this engagement. But the poke coming out from Li Ming does eventually get the Immortal here. Xeno Ender on Raynor pulling back. Avatar popped here, and Lunara trying to get in onto the Orphea. But Stukov keeping the pimp hand strong and pushing back all of the red team.
Yes.
Oh, you missed out on some great fun in the prior casts. We had a lot of fun with Senor Mac of Cheese.
I'm very sad I missed all of this.
You should be. It was a lot of fun.
I apologize.
First fort of the game getting pretty low. It doesn't look like it's quite going to go down, though. So both top getting quite a bit of value, though, from earlier there, and the Zool pressure. But ultimately, no forts, no structures down just yet.
And those forts are very even in health. 48-55, 49-36.
So we did see there Unleash the Boars. I'm not entirely certain why. Zool was able to just kind of walk away. Pops onto his Wonder William and just comes back to say, look, I'm just fine. And this time Raynor getting a little cheeky, but Rexar's going to come up and try to take this first and has the full rotation of the team. It's going to be scouted out by the Banshee. I almost kind of would have liked to have seen Cool Cats and Kittens hang out in that bush out of vision long enough to get Raynor to feel confident that he could come in. But there's no guarantee I ever would. And with the bot lane camp being picked up by PSISTORM, that's going to lead right into this fort. Could ultimately have cost them a fort. So probably the right decision, but you still want to see those ganks.
Is that 4 deaths for Misha now?
Not 100% positive, but keeping Rexar slow here, we're getting pretty close to being able to kill him. I think if Xeno Ender had moved up with Zool, they might have been able to get it. But Misha back on the map here, the rotation coming in, looking for Beowulf, and there you go.
That's all of Rexar.
But you know what?
What happens to Misha when Rexar dies?
You know, she probably goes to the pound.
Oh,
Animal control.
I regret the question. I just meant, like, you can't kill Misha once the Rexar's dead. Like, magic, hibernation, I don't know.
Yeah. Murden jumping over the Johanna. Johanna getting stunned, taking loads of damage from both Lunara and Li Ming, and she's going to be the first one to fall as the trait quest there completed for Murden. Continuing to look for more. He has to pull back, though, because the Immortal Stun coming in. And, hey, thanks, Ektar. Much appreciated for the channel points. Now, for those of you not in the know, Ektar had previously redeemed his channel points for a replay cast.
What, it was like 3,000?
No, well, no, we're talking about a different one. But that replay cast was actually going to be cast by Weenus and Double Dam. They ended up doing that the next day. So I told Ektar, you know what? Here you go. You wanted a cast for PSISTORM, so there you go. I would make sure that I would pick it up for this. You thought it was you, but it was really kind of Ektar just 2 weeks ago. But it was mostly you.
Oh, okay. Okay, I understand now.
Immortal picked up by the red team here. Cool Cats and Kittens. Oh, Murden getting caught in the silence. He can't get away, but Lucy. He's going back
in. What? Why was that jump?
Muradin, buddy, I don't know if you know this, but just because the states opened up doesn't mean you dive into the coronavirus. Just throwing that out there. That was a poor decision. Oh my goodness.
Maybe he thought his team was closer. They were. I don't know. Poor Muradin. Rip in peace, bud.
I think I actually have an idea of what might have happened. He might have tried to queue up the jump when he was out of the silence. And then when he got out of the silence, things weren't quite as they were. And then it was a worse idea. Now, I don't know that that's true, but, you know, it could have also just been that Muradin was like, hey, I'm immortal. Can't kill Muradin.
It doesn't die. We did have the matching torts falling. Top lane, bot lane. And everyone's gonna
Indeed,
get the
yes.
camps too.
Yep. And they're getting them in the strong lanes too.
Balanced game.
Well, and I did mention a few minutes ago that these teams, you know, I thought it was going to be a very balanced set, and of course, likely a 3-game set because that's what happens at Midnight Cast.
They're even close on kills right now, 7-6.
Well, pushing in hard, getting the Blessed Shield out onto 3. This time, Muradin pulling away from the Crushing Jaws is able to get away, rooted by his own wall. And Stukov with a big disengage. Lucio trying to keep him in the game, though. And just a little parting gift from Li Ming over the wall there. Not catching anybody, but had the potential. Could have maybe gotten somebody there, but there just wasn't anybody there to get.
Oh, maybe it's because the teams have the same portrait that it's like some yin and yang thing they've got going on here.
Could be. Could very well be. Well, it looks like we're going to see the PSISTORM come in onto the Immortal, but Raynor getting caught by the stun. If anybody was any closer, that was a dead Raynor, but instead it's Lunara getting rooted. She hops right over Smoke, picks up another hop over Ender. And Cyan getting very low on the Johanna here is going to get taken out there by Muradin. And Raynor and Lucio falling in there as well, looking for some resets for Li Ming. There's a reset, but she has no mana, so she can't throw anything else out.
That's twice now. She's had no mana when she got resets. But, you know, it's still a quad kill, so I don't think she cares too much about that.
Yeah, I mean, 4 kills for 1. You know, you don't get the kill onto Stukov, but that'll be it.
Well,
now, I thought, because when Muradin did his Thunderclap, it looked like he got that kill onto Johanna, but I guess there must have been additional damage, because I was thinking maybe he took the level 13 talent that does like 300% more Thunderclap damage to a single target. But he didn't, so I don't know.
Maybe he was just really angry at her from the 13 he has.
Possibly. Could have been. So we do have here Lunara with that greater spell shield as well. I think this is actually the best spell shield in the game as far as like overall spell armor. Tychus also has really solid spell armor, 75 if I remember correctly. And his is activated, whereas Lunara's isn't. She can turn it on and off, which I think is, you know, probably better. So that being said, she actually has to turn it off if she wants to use it effectively, as opposed to, like, if she steps in that Stukov silence, it's just gone as it is. So now she doesn't have that. So, you know, play around using that greater spell shield if you pick that up. But right now the Immortal getting the keep down to half health already, and it's still got a lot of health on its own health bar here, so likely the keep falling. Where's that root going? On Misha? Okay, the Misha's rooted.
Are they
And they're
gonna
gonna
try
keep
for more
going.
here?
It looks like they're going to.
Stukov is pretty low.
Immortal's about to fall, and this is a difficult core assault with all 5 heroes up, but they're taking a lot of damage into it. Misha's going to get pulled in with the Condemn, 30%, as Zul cleaving his way, gets Rexar, gets Lucio, Muradin falling, Can Li Ming finish it? 2% and not quite there. Oh, they get it with the poison. Oh, so close.
Oh my gosh. Li Ming was so far away from that, so she didn't get attacked. And I thought that was going to keep them from finishing the core because her abilities like weren't reaching the core, but
Yeah,
just
and
barely.
that last arcane orb too was just slightly like off where it seemed like it might not have hit, and if it didn't hit, that's not the game, right? If that arcane orb goes sailing past, that was like 6% of the core's health, but it managed to just hit at the very end of that, which means of course that it's the perfect placement, and that poison damage from Lunara just enough to take down and win them the game. So there you go.
So that Gork poison.
Indeed. 13 kills to 10, and you know, obviously a lot of those kills for PSISTORM coming right at the end there, killing off everybody, I think. Was Li Ming dead?
She was
She
dying
was.
if she wasn't.
No, she was definitely dead. She didn't have any other abilities because I thought the game might not have ended there.
Right.
So yeah, they got all 5 right at that last minute. So very even on the kills. Talents here just to show those here for you guys while we wait for the next game. Who's your MVP in that game?
I mean, it's got to be the Li Ming resets, right?
Not Li Ming, just her resets?
Well, I mean, Li Ming.
Sorry, Cathel, you're just not good enough. It's only the reset, only your trait. That's it.
Okay. Cathal is my MVP because they were on Li Ming, and Li Ming got resets, which led to good things.
There you go. That works. Fair enough.
Alternatively, Misha Bear for taking a lot of punishment but still coming back in and fighting strong every time. Or Lunara's poison. Again, not Lunara, just the poison.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Doing that last damage. And you know, you can see like we can go and see how much damage a hero takes when they die. I wish we could go back in and see what was the overkill on the core. Was there any poison timer duration left, or was that literally the last tick of
Right.
Ours point? I don't know.
Unfortunately, we'll never know. Yeah.
All right, well, let's go ahead and take a quick break. I'm going to grab a drink for myself, and we'll come back in just a moment.
Bienvenidos a la catedral de las mejores batallas del Nexo. ¡Vámonos! El terrorífico, el chamuco, Diablo. El jefe, Aero. La actitud, quiere más. Uy, mira nada más. Cuando el referee no veía. ¡Increíble! Los rudos están en la lona.
All right, welcome back, everybody. So, our next game going to be Volskaya Foundry. This is the pick of our red team, Cool Cats and Kittens. So Lulu, you're a cat fan, I believe you said, yes?
I think that's safe to say.
What kind of cool cat facts might you have for us this evening? Anything exciting?
Cat fact number 1. Flynn loves catnip.
And
Cat
who's Flynn,
fact
by the way?
number 2. Flynn is the orange cat that you can see featured in my little logo there. There's a whole story why he looks so derpy, but yeah, he loves catnip and he loves laser lights. And Luna loves all food, especially human food, but she'll eat anything.
Fair enough. I want to shout out Maestro Casts there, King Andrew, doing a great job in the casting in NGS this season. Really appreciate the raid. I hope that your cast went well.
Aero, I think we're definitely the last match of the night.
Do you think?
Because everyone is raiding.
Is that possible? Are we possibly the last? We're on the next day's calendar.
Thinking
So it might
emoji.
be possible.
Only on the East Coast.
Only on the Coast that Matters.
Central Coast, Best Coast, BB.
Did you sign up for this cast? Like on the website. I know that you did your shenanigans.
I did not sign up for it on the website. Can I even do that? Can I volunteer you for cast by signing up on the website and just putting your Twitch link? Is that how that works?
No.
Damn.
I think we're ready to go. There was a little bit of a creation error, shall we say. We had to fix that. Just waiting on the teams to push the button. But for all of you coming over from Maestro streams, we're in the middle of a Division D West matchup between PSISTORM and Cool Cats and Kittens. We just watched Battlefield of Eternity. It was a pretty solid game. I mean, it was a very back and forth match between these two teams. Very similar in kills. Overall, the XP was pretty similar. So, you know, I don't expect anything different out of Volskaya. This is an opportunity now for PSISTORM to show that those combos that they have, you know, can really keep things going and net them a victory.
I really do think also that the first game was basically just like gleaming difference. Those resets were what turned the fights for the Cool Cats and Kittens.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, once you get that first... It's kind of like the opposite of the Oriole problem that existed in Season 8, right? Like, in Season 8, if your opponent had Oriole, it was great that you got a kill and you blew all your resources to getting that kill. And then you're like, cool, we can continue on. Except Oriole with a 3-second res with 100% health is like, no, we're now more powerful because we still have stuff. There's going to be that gall ban, as mentioned.
I'm so happy right now. I wish I could talk to them. I'm not a ref. I can't talk to them. That's a shame.
Oh, wait. Now we're on the draft. There we go. NA production value. Sonya
Hey,
gonna
it's
be
not
the
like you
ban.
missed the entire draft. Not that you would ever do that.
Did I do that?
Last season, I think there was at least once that happened. But...
I don't think that we missed the entire draft, but there was definitely a fair amount of time that was missed.
There's the Mal'Ganis ban again. These do feel very targeted from PSISTORM.
Are we going to see the Greymane? I mean, are we continuing in that thread?
We'll find out sometime in the next 10 seconds. Yes, we are.
Wow, it's like you have a crystal ball.
Yeah, I was really disappointed that you didn't let me guess the map we were going to after I already knew what it was.
Mm-hmm. By the way, Lulu, what map do you think we're going to go to for game number 2?
Oh gosh, probably Volskaya Foundry if I had to make a guess. There's that Zool again for smoke.
All right, I'm going to come back in 3
Okay.
minutes when this draft is exactly the same.
It's the salty run back. Oh, yep.
All right, so next is what?
let's get it.
Murden?
Oh,
okay.
no, they broke it.
All right. I mean, that doesn't mean... I think it's even still likely that they go Murden with that. Light Bomb
they
on the Murden jump with a Stormbolt into Li Ming combo, and all of a sudden, PSISTORM's not having a great day.
Oh, Nara's switching sides here. ETC.
ETC could certainly help with that because he can knock back the Murden. He can interrupt the Salvation if Andrew decided he wanted to go into the Protect talent. Also, that 30% heal. Because really, that's right now. That's the only way for PSISTORM to interrupt Salvation. Alex Raza is going to be the third ban here for the CC and K.
They're sticking to their bans. You like to see it. If you've done
Well,
your
this one is
research,
new.
Don't get freaked out. What?
This
There
one's
was
new.
an Alex. Oh,
No,
Alex.
this one
banned
right here is
for
gonna be
sides. Oh, okay.
because ETC was banned last game. So is it going to be Johanna or Murden? I mean, oh, it's going to be Rexar. Okay.
Rexar. Smoke did get bullied pretty hard by the Rexar in that early game.
Makes sense. He has the deepest pool of the team, I think. Seems weird that they're targeting the tank for bans. I mean, really just one. Just the Mal'Ganis. And Ron gonna bring in the Deckard. Now, I like the Deckard, especially here.
Ruby.
Absolutely. Gork gonna be picking up Raynor. So a couple of heroes switching sides. Need a bit, oh man. PSISTORM picking up the PSISTORM.
Oh! Yes, I love teams that are not false advertising. Cough Probius.
Which Probius, by the way?
Yes. I don't think the other one plays it either, do they?
I don't think so. Let's see who's Valyria playing. That's the Tassadar. So we got Tassadar, Lunar Azul, Deckard. All right, so I gotta say between these two drafts, I mean, I like both of them. I think I give the edge over to PSISTORM with this one, though. There's good area control with Deckard, with ETC. The Tassadar does an absolute truckload of damage. If Zul gets a root on a person, Tassadar is gonna burn him up just like Li Ming can. And really, the only potential CC we've got from Cool Cats and Kittens, we've got Anduin's Chastise, we got Murden Stormbolt, and then obviously if they take Light Bomb, they've got that combo. So both teams have the potential to really just eliminate a player in a matter of a combo. We'll have to see if that works.
Yeah, I really like the PSISTORM draft. You got the Zool, you got the Tassadar, and Black Hole is not fun to play against. Oh, and by the way, Mosh Pit and Ruby and Lunara Poison.
I hope we see. So, there's an interesting interaction between Lornado and Black Hole, and it is so fun to watch because if you do it at the right time, the Lornado pushes them away, but the Black Hole is pulling them in. So they just ping pong back and forth between the two abilities because they move at the same speed.
Oh, that would be fun.
So, but let's go ahead and introduce our team. Take it away, Lulu.
Okay, for PSISTORM this time we've got Xeno Ender on the Lunara, Smoke on Zool, Ron on Deckard, Cyan on the ETC, and Valera on Tassadar.
Alrighty, and for Cool Cats and Kittens, as we got a little bit of a dance party and bee-stepping and spray party, we got Gork playing Raynor, we got Desperado on the Anduin, Kathel once again on that Li Ming. Ragnar's going to be played by Beowulf, and Murden going to be played once again by Descalada.
Pulled up the tab menu, and I see that it lists Ron on Deckard instead of Deckard Kane. Have they actually changed his name so he's not the only person with a first and last name in the game? Or is it just
Lulu,
this
his name has
screen?
always been Deckard.
No. His name was Deckard Kane.
No.
They had it listed as Deckard Kane if someone, dropped or is like that was his name in the game. I don't know if that's changed or not.
I don't think so. But we got a camp
you
here.
don't believe me right now. It's true, I swear.
Well, it's at least been that way for a very long time. So I can't say for certain that it was that way on release, but for a very long time. Like most of the time he's been around. So we've got the Perfect Storm coming out from Murden looking for those stacks. And you know what? On the Protector, you can get those stacks pretty easily. On the control points, also fairly easily. You've got a fairly small zone to work with there. Beowulf going to head back, already sitting at half health, wants to get nice and healthy before coming in for the control point. What do you think of the Ragnaros here?
When he forts up, can he reach the control points from there? Or not?
He definitely can reach mid lane. And I think top is, like, part of it's in range. Bottom, I think, is probably out of range.
It's a little bit of nice cheese if he can reach and just be a nuisance to the other team. Other than that, I honestly don't know Rag that well. He doesn't heal. Not really my thing.
Right. He's probably going to go Lava Wave, I would think, because especially with these longer control point fights, Lava Wave will give him a lot of XP, so hopefully that keeps him in the game. But Ragnaros very far forward, the rotation coming up. I don't see any way that Rag makes it out of this, and it would seem that PSISTORM agrees with me, throwing all of those CCs out there. Ragnaros going to be the first blood of the game. We might see the second blood onto Zool here, however, although not quite enough CC, and that's what I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the game, is that the CC chain combo out of PSISTORM definitely the easier to execute than Cool Cats and Kittens. And okay, so Deckard taking all of the not talents that I was going to expect. Sapphire, still a good talent. Got big, slow potential.
No.
But instead going into the rejuvenation potion.
Oh, I am sad now. I do love Sapphire. Sapphire feels good when you use it, and then they're just very, very slow. But no Ruby now that it's just absurdly short cooldown makes me sad.
Asadar so far sitting at 20, now 25 damage bonus onto his shock right here. ETC gets the power slide on Murden. Murden's going to get pulled away. And missing the Stormbolt there. Ragnaros rooted with a Force Wall, falling very low through the PSISTORM, and Lunara getting the kill. Onto that, Ragnaros. Say goodnight to Gork, maybe. Yeah.
PSISTORM dropped 2 turrets and the biotic emitter there on the point, and that's not really a fight that Cats and Kittens probably wanted to take with all those items out, but that's how it went.
Well, the channel was certainly going in their favor, so it definitely made it a more difficult circumstance for them. You know, Raynor doesn't have Exterminator, so it takes longer to kill those turrets. Sledgehammer, you know, is available, so Murden can do a bunch of damage to it, but on a control point like that, he's probably more looking for the heroes. But right now, looking for those stacks. A big root from Deckard, though. And the wall, as well as the well, gonna fall here in the top lane. Protector nearly out of gas. So ETC's just gonna pull Lunara out of the danger zone there. And go ahead and exit the vehicle. 12 seconds left on that, so gonna be a little bit before camps are up. But level 10's now available for PSISTORM. We're not gonna get the opportunity to see that combo of Black Hole plus Lornado, but we are going to have the opportunity to have a nice calming story told by Deckard Cain, and then have that interrupted by the rave of ETC Maj.
The rave, or the Black Hole, or just, you know, Zool vomiting on everyone.
Oh, that's a nice image.
Yeah.
Well, with the level 10s here, we got PSISTORM picking up the biotic emitter, so another item in their clutches. And how long until their camps? That's not showing. 10 seconds on the blue side. Red side coming up right now for the Asian camp. Evening 8-bit. 8-bit. 8-bit.
8-bit.
Cutting out about 5 letters of the name there.
What's up, 8-bit? How's it going?
I'm not going to say that Lulu was trash-talking your team earlier, but she was kind of trash-talking your team.
I merely pointed out that...
Hold up. Here comes the sleep. And Ragnar is going to get pulled out, but just caught back in by the mosh pit. There's the salvation. It's ETC who falls first. Zool the second. Murden going to get caught by the root, but Gork taking tons of damage from Lunara, but just kidding. Being thrown out the damage, getting the resets here. And what initially looked like an amazing engagement from PSISTORM turns right around.
Was such a huge bubble from Anduin. Feels bad when he pulls a Ragnaros but isn't out of the mosh pit or stay a while. But by the way, also he can just bubble and heal him up while he's stunned.
You know what? We installed the Butts bot today, but it's in Aero's brain, so there you go. All right. Well, you know what? PSISTORM had it. They just had to convert it. So, you know what? Shake it off. You move on. And look for your next opportunity here in about maybe, I don't know, 47 seconds. Both teams very close in XP here. They're going to get 13 almost exactly at the same time. Structures up on both sides. Obviously a slight advantage right now to PSISTORM on the structures. But slight advantage in kills to Cool Cats and Kittens.
Got you. You said butt.
I was legit like, is Discord lagging by like 60 seconds? Oh my goodness. Good catch. PSISTORM gonna get started on the channel. Both teams do have level 13. It is gonna be super pots here, and we see pots everywhere. Deckard has a ring of potions all set up and ready to go.
And they are thick potions.
Yeah, these potions at this point probably do about 800 or so. Let's see if we can take a look at Deckard. What do we got? Potion is Q, so those are 450. Okay, and 120%. So actually even more. Right? That's like 950. Or less if you pick them up when you have only like 100 points of damage taken so far. But here comes a root. Anduin gonna get out of there with that speedy enchant boots Lion's Fang. Lion's whatever it is. Speed. Lion's Speed, there we go. Lion's Fang is variant. Lunar getting very low though, has pulled back. But all of the items used. Now this is very different from what we saw earlier when PSISTORM used their items at the end of the channel. Cool Cats and Kittens had to use theirs at the beginning of the channel just to push them off. So this gives PSISTORM the opportunity to push back in once those items have turned off, gone away.
I love it. Li Ming is playing Siege Ming right now, just throwing orbs, taking off that top tower.
I believe this is your brawl strategy, isn't it?
It is literally my brawl strategy. Sorry, team. I've got towers to blow up.
And with a full orb build here from Cathal, I wonder if we'll see the increased range as well.
Smoke is so low.
Mosh Pit coming out with the black hole, though. Raynor getting just destroyed. We saw that the salvation was tried there, but not quite enough time. Murden looking for the Tassadar, and Tassadar doesn't quite have that mobility to be able to get away from all this. So he's gonna be okay just because the Stormbolt missed. Murden might not be, though. Lunar gonna finish the job. That's a triple kill for PSISTORM. And they're gonna get this second protector.
Yeah.
And that... Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, up to this point, it was looking a lot like the first game where it was pretty even, but PSISTORM had gotten the first objective, but now they've changed it and they've gotten the second objective too.
That's true. Still a fairly even game overall, but you know, with Volskaya Foundry, the more you open up the map, the more value there is, the more potential to get these protectors and snowball it into a win. And you know, they played that combo on that second control point B, very well. Managing to take out that Raynor so early was pivotal to their success in this most recent team fight. But with Ragnaros popping that Molten Core, bottom port is going to stay alive. It's got about half of its health, roughly. And
Raynor also popping the Hyperion there to tell PSISTORM to get the heck out of town.
Now, Raynor...
No. Their deterrent didn't last very long, and PSISTORM is back.
And they could poke this down potentially with Lunara here, but they have to be a little bit careful. There is enough CC. Stay a while interrupted on a short cooldown, so it is still going to be available if our friend Ron there on the Deckard decides to make use of that. And they have all their ultimates, so this is really kind of a position where if you're Cool Cats and Kittens, I don't know that you necessarily want to look for this engage. And that's exactly what they're doing, and ETC's in a great position for this. There's the black hole, so much value. The protect coming out from Anduin, though. Only 1-for-1 as ETC making a 2-for-1 here, and that was nearly perfect. How did that sleep catch Murden? Wow. That would be an example of the overlay of the ability hitting onto a hero's circle, but not actually on the hero themselves. But Lulu, that was another really fantastic Anduin salvation.
Yeah, it really was. And also, Cool Cats and Kittens was actually in a 5v4 there, because Zool was up in the top lane getting the siege camp for PSISTORM.
In almost every way, that was a clutch play for PSISTORM, except suddenly Anduin.
Except for where it wasn't.
So they really need to recognize that Anduin potential to kind of counter what they're trying to do. They really only have the ETC for an interrupt. I mean, Deckard obviously with his stay a while, but you kind of hope that's not what you're having to use to interrupt that. I mean, it's really ETC with his knockback face melt or his power slide. So I think they really need to focus on, you know, if you start that combo, then ETC needs to hold on to his ability to make sure that they can complete it.
Yeah, I'm actually a big fan of the bubble. Oh, rag. He's fine. And you know, if the other team's just gonna let you channel the bubble forever, like, it's a pretty okay talent.
Yeah, it's a really fantastic talent in that. So if you get full value, absolutely. Now, Zul did get a little pressure down bot, but not enough to really cause any real danger. I don't know. I originally thought it was going to be a Murden with a light bomb, but, you know, once you see that your only real threat is the ETC, Salvation seems like a great pickup. And especially if you're able to hold on to it long enough and kind of outweight ETC's his patience, right? Because he's looking for that mosh pit, and if he's doing mosh and you're not in it, then you get the opportunity to heal everybody and not care about the mosh pit. It's working out really well. That said, PSISTORM picking up the top fort, the first fort of the game to go down. There's the stay a while onto Murd, and he's going to get unstoppable and jump out. Gork, however, falling very low. The protect interrupted this time. But also ETC getting interrupted. So, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. ETC in danger, uses the face melt to get away, but Murden getting the kill. And Li Ming popping off with the resets. But look at how low everybody on Cool Cats is. The Root, I'm assuming?
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I mean, Cool Cats and Kittens having to disengage. They lost 2 of their own, and their heroes were all so very low. If Lunara had the opportunity to chase them down, they all would have just died. But didn't really have that opportunity. Not in safety, as Murden could have gotten a stun, and then that would have been a big problem.
And Cool Cats and Kittens was up 20s going into that fight, so that was actually really well done by PSISTORM, but they were down 20s. Feels bad. Actually, that was not even that. It was the Li Ming resets again.
It was, yeah. They almost got what they were looking for. They interrupted the Salvation. Unfortunately, that meant that, of course, ETC was in a position to get interrupted himself, I believe, by the Rainer. And then, you know, ETC was kind of isolated there from the rest of his team. So that put him in a position that he fell low on his way out and just, you know, one auto attack from Murd and did the job.
Indeed.
At Lulu Heroes when we truly need it. I think that was about Probius, but I'm not positive. Oh, yeah, it is, because that was chat. So, alright, we got some different abilities here for level 20. We got the, is it Blitzkrieg? Or Kugel Blitz? Every time I see that, I want to see it called Kegel Blitz, which adds those PSISTORMs on the ground. So big value, big potential damage there for Tassadar. Here comes a Root, along with Zul coming in with that Poison Nova. We're going to see a quick deletion of Rainer, but Lunara falling as well. And Mosh Pit going out onto Murd, and the Root going to stop him. And it's going to be a kill out onto ETC. Murden getting the rewind proc to get a stun, and Ragnar's actually finishing the kill. So 2 for 1 so far here, thanks to that Protector, of course, being unstoppable. Protector's about to go down, though.
They do get a keep from it.
And the Ragnaros pressure, you know, Ragnaros getting a ton of value out of this lava wave because the minion wave was pushed all the way forward. And so I think it got I think I got about 2.5 minion waves, so that's a really high value lava wave.
For sure. Man, I can't believe the first fort didn't go down in this game until level 20. Well, 19 for PSISTORM, but that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I was going to say the top one went down a little bit earlier than that, but yeah, exactly. I mean, both teams really playing well. Again, the kill count very similar, slightly in favor of Cool Cats and Kittens. The XP, however, is definitely in favor of CC and K, although now we're getting a pause. Looks like Anduin disconnected. Yep. So we'll be back to that in a meantime. Let's not wake sleeping dog. Let's let sleeping dogs lie.
There,
Alpha
you got
over here.
it.
Yeah, I try not to throw out too many cliches in a single cast.
So, scale of 1 to 10, how annoyed are the dogs that you're casting right now instead of, like, asleep?
I mean, I'm usually up at this time. I'm just not usually casting at this time. So it's not really that much different.
Okay, fair enough.
Let's see. It's 107 on the East Coast. So usually about this time, I'm wrapping up maybe the last brawl of the night. Oftentimes looking for, my friends to play. Most of the time they're not around, doing other things with other people or just ignoring my messages in the first place.
Oh man, I didn't know this was gonna be a guilt trip cast.
A guilt trip? Oh, are you? Did you think I was talking about you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were friends. Is that not? Oh, that's so awkward.
Yikes. Well.
Big yikes.
So, sorry, no, go ahead.
I'm really trying to find stuff to back up what I was saying about Deckard. Icy Veins still lists him as Deckard Cain on their info thing about him. However, heroesofthestorm.com now lists him as Deckard.
There's an easy way to address this, right?
No, I don't. What's that?
Let's see. What do they show in the video?
Artifacts.
I know
Oh.
it was Deckard Cain when he came out.
Hold on. Let me help you with this. Now, Twitch chat, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this on the screen so that everybody can see this. He's restarting his computer, so we're gonna be a moment. So allow me to save this. The heck does this save? And yes, 8-bit, I put in a thing for alpha. It was a little bit of a pain in the neck, actually, to do, but... Oh, there we go! Hey, and you know what? I got the perfect place to put this. Just gonna go ahead and put that right there in my co-caster spot. So, Lulu,
Co-caster now.
on release, it looks like it was Deckard, the last Haradrim. Sorry.
When you were in the game and it would show like the names of the people, right, in your game when they talked, it said Deckard Cain. You don't have to believe me. I know it happened.
I mean, I'm going based on the facts. Just the facts, man. I tell you what, prove me wrong. I mean, because the release video from Hot says it. So here's how you do it. You can, there are like the old Hot's Moments videos, things like that. I mean, those would potentially show some of that. It's really unfortunate that I don't show chat during the cast. This is rather entertaining. Time for a lesson on the Mandela effect. Right? Exactly, right? Did you know that Shaquille O'Neal did not do a movie called Shazam?
This is real. I know it's real. There's a pretty decent chance I actually made a forum post about this in the day because I thought it was very interesting that he had his full name and literally no one else had their full name in the game.
Yeah. You think Probius has a last name?
Well, like, Varian has a last name, but they just call him Varian in the game.
That is true. That is true.
That's
It would be awkward for them to have a hero that had a last name that instead of just their first name. That is true.
That's the whole point, is that it used to list him as Deckard Cain. So it included his last name, as if there were some other Deckard in the Blizzard universe. It would get
There is
confused
Deckard
with.
Payne. Oh wait, I think we got a game. Murdered trivia facts. Do we have murder trivia? What? Oh, we got a game. Here we go.
The prodigal hero returns.
Alrighty then, back to game number 2 between PSISTORM and Cool Cats and Kittens. If you forgot where we were, we're on Volskaya. And it looks like right now here, bot lane, PSISTORM trying to clean up this lane and get a little push, but Ragnaros saying, nah, that's not cool.
Those minions, yeah, they don't exist anymore. Thanks.
You nothing on that one?
What?
Ragnaros?
Did you not hear me?
That one's not cool? Nothing?
Fire. Haha.
Yeah, the lava wave, yeah.
Man, Cool Cats and Kittens has quite the collection of items right now. They've got 2 biotic emitters and 2 turrets. They are ready for a fight.
Well, and they're looking for it here. They go in after the ETC with the stun. Not able to find too much. They do get him down to half health, but he's able to pull away. So the real question here is, can Deckard position himself to get a big monster stay a while? Now, what do we get out of level 20? It is Respect the Elderly as well, so a stay a while could really cause some issues for Cool Cats and Kittens. Once again, ETC, though, taking a lot of damage, so they're not going to find it right here.
A new terminal will be ready.
And heading on to the 4th protector here. Control point A, once again. As we discussed, Ragnaros can hit control point A from the mid port, so we'll see if that comes into play.
Maestrocast pointing out that Greymane goes by his last name.
Indeed.
Accurate. And I guess Raynor does too. But it's still just one name, not them both.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see, Lou. You'll show us. You'll find it. I look forward to it.
I bet you do.
So turret camp coming up here for PSISTORM. They're already positioned for it, so I imagine they're going for that right away here. We see the ping. And Cool Cats and Kittens kind of looking like maybe they're going to come in for this.
Frag, that's pretty bold, bud.
I'm not sure. I thought I saw a stay while. There it is,
Wow,
coming out a bit
wow,
late.
so much happened.
Big death mosh though. Can they capitalize on this as Lunara falling in the back, Anduin as well? Now Murden jumping out. Beowulf here getting some Q value as the root coming down. One more hit is going to take Ragnaros out, but the turret still doing damage. Smoke running in for that potion. And it's 3-2. How's Lunara doing down here? Not so hot. Having to hop away even from the minions.
That protect was interrupted really early for Anduin, and then the Zool poison came out, and the mosh pit came out, so they were just being poisoned to death while having a dance party.
And I don't know if you saw that. Raynor got a penetrating round that was absolutely perfectly timed to make sure that Cool Cats and Kittens were able to pick up the protector.
Oh, are they going to use this whole objective chasing kills?
Well, I think it's more along the lines of they can't really do anything with the protector, anything significant with 4 heroes up. So they've got a little bit of value, but they have to be a little bit careful because the protector doesn't move very quickly. And they have 2 heroes in there, one of which can get away fairly easily, the other not so much.
The other will stand there and be bait. The whole you don't have to outrun a bear, you just have to outrun the friend you're with thing.
Exactly. And you know, I'm fully imagining the Carbot Raynor with his gun just going. Stay a while coming in once again. Big damage. The ETC Mosh with the black hole, and those squishy targets once again just taken out. Zool looking for the Ragnaros, but I don't think that's a 1v1 fight he necessarily wants to take. But in the mid lane here, it's a 4v2. Jimmy gone.
Bye,
He's got no health,
Jimmy.
but the turret is just deleting Lunara's health bar. But they won the big fight. This is what they wanted. They've done this now twice in a row. They got staggered deaths, but they need to make something happen. The body committer is not a make something happen play. They need to be moving on, working on that top fort. They have Zool to give them minions. I'm sorry, top keep.
Yeah, we are almost 26 minutes into this game so far, and you know, if PSISTORM keeps winning these team fights, eventually they're gonna win this game, and we're gonna go into a game 3 after a 40-minute Volskaya game. Aero, are you excited? It's now tomorrow where I live too.
Well, there you go. Lava Wave coming through the middle. ETC using his power slide to skate on through there. Make sure he doesn't get caught by that. Now, you know, once again, I feel like this play, like, they lost a lot here. Raynor's back on the map, so this is full squad on both sides. There's no mosh pit, although there is a death mosh. And the only value that they got was to get a couple of camps and the mid fort. I think that's a huge misplay for PSISTORM.
Yeah, they do at least have, you know, another fort down.
Well, Zool is not here. Ragnaros isn't either, so we'll see how this turns out. ETC all by himself gets a mosh onto the back line. There comes the stay a while as well with the black hole right into Anduin. No protect coming out.
The poison.
And that's going to be 3 kills. They're going to go to the top keep now, right? Like, this is their opportunity to win the game.
Here we go. We're maybe going through mid lane, right? But we're at least pushing towards this keep.
Well, they don't have Zool. I think that, like, Zool would be better with the 4-man. Send Tassadar, send Lunar, send one of those 2 to go deal with the minions. Zool should be pushing. Gives them the opportunity to push on this and not take damage from these towers at all, but also not take the armor penalty.
Oh,
They just get a
leaving?
wall. 30 seconds?
4v1?
Guys, what are you doing?
4v1? Guys?
Like this, you know what this feels like? This feels like one of those QM games where you're like, all right, Guys, it's event quest time. We need all of the keeps. Every structure goes down.
Definitely been me
Access terminal
a lot during events. Although I usually, I shouldn't admit this publicly, but I will occasionally go to versus AI and just smash all the things for my quests.
I should probably end the stream right now for that. Make sure that doesn't get out. But, you know, so this is...
hero has left the
Cool Cats... Oh, there goes another
prodigal hero.
disconnect.
doing
Oh, they're
comeback.
back. Oh, here we go. So we're going to see Cool Cats and Kittens. They're making a rotation in, looking for the back door. They might be able to do it.
Rag's
Maybe
thing,
not.
right? Does he not have it? No?
So they're all going to be here for the defense. Here comes Stay a While. It's going to get interrupted. It's a short cooldown on the interrupt. But Mosh, or I'm sorry, not Mosh. Face Melt interrupted Muradin on his jump. He just uses Rewind. So that's going to be the disengage. They have the Lava Wave coming in, so no real damage. They got a little bit of damage on the shield, but they're not going to get any actual core
Did Rag
damage.
not have his thing up? They super didn't commit to that at all, and I'm very confused and surprised.
He has it
Or
now. I don't
snap.
know if he had it then. But this is like worst case scenario now for Cool Cats and Kittens. The only thing they really have is salvation. Zool's not here, so there's that for the moment, but they need to make a play here. And Zool's on his way now, and you've got Mosh Pit, you have Death Mosh, you have Respect the Elderly, and you have boatloads of poison damage. And we see PSISTORM
Do
positioning.
have the item advantage for Cool Cats and Kittens if they can use it before they die.
Here it comes. They're looking for something kind of in an awkward place. There's the stay while hitting all 5 members. Massive
poison
silence
in-
value. Check it out. The poison mosh pit as well gets interrupted eventually. Rainer gonna drop the biotic emitter. It's not enough. A triple kill for PSISTORM. What a play. And we're
Aero.
gonna wait out for the protector again.
Do I dare say that surely with the Protector, this will be the end of this game?
I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't put money on it. Zool trying to
Weird.
defend against the Ragnaros and Murden. Now, Ragnaros and Murden, they're not going to be able to
Seriously,
be enough.
does he not have the thing? Am I crazy that Rag can use the thing? Become a tower?
Well, Rag's a staggered death. The Protector is heading up there. It's got 1 person in it. Tassadar needs to actually get in if he wants to provide that additional value. He
is
does.
just- Okay, this is the end of the game. Alright. Knock on wood.
Maybe? I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I'm
They're going for it.
backtracking my words immediately.
31 minute, actually it was a 30-minute Protector, so it's going to do a lot of damage.
Level 26. They got Li Ming to help clear it. Ooh.
And they don't have tons of damage that'll go onto the core. They'll get 1 burst of damage from
Oh,
Tassadar.
30. Okay, this is it. This is it, Aero. We made it. We made it, fam.
All right, Lunara with the 91 hit points, showing that leaping strike right over the core. Ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a game 3.
That was such a confusing game.
I feel like I should be more excited about this game 3 than I am.
Well, I mean, I'm excited for a game 3. It was an exciting game we just had. It's just that it was
I was
like
just gonna say that, yeah.
I'm just very puzzled by some of PSISTORM's choices, and then Cool Cats and Kittens going for the back door, but then they just noped out without really committing to it. It's just
Well, I think they had to. I don't think that they, when PSISTORM saw that they were going back, like, they had to back out. They can't 5-man in on that core, especially with the massive amount of CC potential coming out of PSISTORM, right? PSISTORM played the team fights at the end of that game extremely well. They hesitated on winning the game. They had multiple opportunities to win that game earlier, and that's going to be what sets them apart as a Division D team from a Division B or Division A team. If they can recognize those opportunities to gain value and close out a game, that changes this entire setup, right? They become now a contender for high division play.
That's a good point. And there are times where in the past, I know I've been on teams where, you've been burned in the past by like trying to end when you couldn't. And, maybe they're just a little hesitant, like, don't want to get too greedy on this. And it worked out for them in the end. Like, just win enough team fights and eventually you win the game. Easy.
Absolutely true. Well, we're going to take a moment, get a little bit of a beverage, maybe catch our breath a bit, and then we'll find out where we're going for game number 3. So enjoy this clip, whichever one I happen to play.
Systems online. Commence hero upgrade. Hero upgrade complete.
Hail to the Queen.
New battleground detected. New hero arrival.
The Queen of Blades. This should be fun. Don't worry, I'll make this quick.
Having fun yet?
Please, you had best be joking. Oh, you really don't seem to be up to this task, do you? Oops. I expected so much more.
Do you ever shut up?
Yes! Finally a challenge!
All right, everybody, welcome back. Apologize, Alpha Cam has ended. She decided she was tired of sleeping up in the air, so she has moved down to her bed. But we've got a game 3 coming up here between PSISTORM and Cool Cats and Kittens. We're going to be going to Cursed Hollow. And this is the map selection of... let's see, they want first pick. So this is the map selection of PSISTORM. Maestro, I believe they're coming soon. Let's see, Cursed Hollow. So, Lulu, going to Cursed Hollow, this is another pretty sizable map. Just like the one we were on there, Volskaya. What are your thoughts on this map? Do you think we'll see similar comps to what we just saw with these tribute fights? Or do you think maybe we'll see some new heroes on this?
Helps to not be muted. I think that Zool is probably going to get picked by PSISTORM if he's up, and I think Li Ming is going to get picked by Cool Cats and Kittens if she's up. So those seem to be comfort picks, and they both be good heroes here. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about that Tassadar? I liked Tassadar before he was changed on this map, especially because of the narrow corridors, being able to lock people down with a force wall. Now he's got force wall baseline, so do you think with his current kit that this is going to be a place that he'll be able to shine and that he'll get through, or do you think that that's something that maybe they'll put on the side and not pick up?
Maybe. I have not played Tassadar since his rework, but force walls could definitely be annoying, and they showed the last game they can really use it to set up some wombo, so he could definitely get some value here too.
And do you think we're going to continue to see the same same bans?
Aero, what do you think? I think we'll get the same bans, but what do you think, Aero?
I don't think we'll see a Cho'Gall ban. This isn't really a good, well, I don't want to say that. It's not really one of his best maps. Since his changes, I know that some high-level teams had played him here.
Aero, I hope that this time they banned the apostrophe. Because they banned the Cho and the Gall, and so the only thing that's left to ban in Game 3 is the apostrophe.
Makes sense. Or they could do the big brain play and ban both of them.
Yes, that would keep it even too. PSISTORM, if you're listening, please ban Cho and Gall. Thank you very much.
Preferably in your first ban and your third ban, so that you can have like a Cho Gall sandwich.
Oh, there's the Zool ban. That's smart.
So I'm interested to see. So they banned out Sonya and Greymane both of the last couple games. Do one of those make it on? Both of those could get a lot of value here. Sonya could be an absolute menace for the backline. Greymane has a lot of tank buster options or able to finish off low health targets, but they're both really good at camps. And well, there's the goal. Okay. And this is a map where you want to have people who are good at being able to take camps so that you can keep that lane pressure up, especially during tribute fights.
For sure. Ooh.
I really like that ban. Really like that ban. Deckard was so painful for them, especially at, like pre-level 20. They kind of worked around it. It stunk for them, but they were able to get the protect out and be okay. Level 20, game turned around, and they could no longer get the protect. That 3 seconds of silence and blind was just brutal. I also like that.
These are all good bans.
So we may we're gonna get new heroes, right? Because several of these have been played, some of them in both games. So what are we gonna get now? Well, Lunara's coming
First
back.
pick Lunara. She
crap,
did
I'm
literally
sorry.
win the first game. Uh-oh, what'd you do? Aero, what did you break?
Nothing, I just forgot the draft screen. Wasn't looking at it. So, yeah, well, they got all the commentary from us, so, they know what's going on. But it's going to be Greymane ETC to face off against Lunara so far. And let's see. So Xeno Ender was on Lunara last game. Now changing over to Greymane. A little bit of a different style over here. But not too much different.
And then the Lucio makes a reappearance.
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen Johanna in this, right? Ah, it was the other side.
Game
in game
one, PSISTORM had her.
Yeah. Lubidium saying, interesting about the last game that Anduin never landed another good protect after he lagged out. True, that also happened to be around the same time that they got into that level 20. Like, I don't recall if there was another engage after that. And, you know, that really prevented a lot of potential to protect.
And also just, I mean, PSISTORM adapted, right? Anduin got some really good protects off, and then that just, you know, PSISTORM was losing, and so they adjusted, and they made sure to interrupt the protect, and suddenly they did well in team fights.
Crazy how that works. It's, you know,
Yeah,
it's kind of like
wild.
what we were talking a little bit about that too. Right? Having to have that patience to hold on to your abilities. I also think Li Ming kind of lost a little bit of value in there because Li Ming took Disintegrate instead of Wave of Force, and I think that the Wave of Force would have been huge.
I fully agree on that. So, Cool Cats and Kittens bans out the Sonya with their third ban. They don't ban the Alexstrasza, which they had banned previously, and there is the Alexstrasza for PSISTORM.
So interesting. Alexstrasza is not a hero that typically gets banned. Doesn't even really get played that often. So this has got to be a comfort pick.
Ooh, spicy Alarak and Rexar for Beowulf again, since he was not banned this game because PSISTORM was worried about that Ragnaros. Didn't want to see it again. Oh, that means they didn't ban Cho. That's a shame. Oh, well.
That's true. That's true.
But you know, if you're gonna skew the stats, skew it towards Gaul rather than Cho.
We're gonna get a Leoric.
And he's got the janitor skin. This is good. He's allowed to play Leoric.
So, I mean, this could still be a pretty significant Mosh combo out of PSISTORM. They don't quite have the same level of CC. They've got, of course, Buried Alive at 20. They've got Gravity Lapse. On the other side, you've got Lucio, who can boop and Mosh. Again, not a ton of CC, but you really have a significant value in the Alarak play. So if they can get those combos to work well, you know, using a telekinesis to pull them in, getting the Discord Strike to silence them, maybe a Misha charge, getting a little bit of stun, even maybe a Lucio boot, right? They could potentially disrupt the team enough to have a solid impact, but we'll have to see how it turns out for them.
Yes, we will.
So, Lulu, who you rooting for in this game?
I'm casting, so I'm impartial, Aero.
Fair enough.
But did you think that an hour and 39 minutes after this match started, we would just be starting game 3?
Yep. If you would have asked me 10 hours ago when this was first brought up, what time do you think this is going to end? Probably about 2:30. Yeah.
So for PSISTORM in this very exciting game 3, Aero, we've got Ron on the Alexstrasza, Cyan on ETC, Xeno Ender on Greymane, Valera on Kael'thas, and Smoke on Leoric in the offlane.
All right, and for Cool Cats and Kittens, we've got Beowulf playing the Rexar. We got Johanna played by Descolada, Desperado on the Lucio, Gork on the Lunar there, and Alarak going to be played by Cathal. So taking a look at talents, once again, the party mix here for Lucio and Alexstrasza going into E-build. And I've seen somebody else played in Alexstrasza. It was in the other match, though, because it's been banned both times here. I remember seeing the E-build earlier. We also have Prog Rock and, of course, Mana Addict for Kael'thas, because everybody knows that gravity or convection is a garbage talent.
Unless you complete it, in which case it's not.
It's still good. It's just a little bit less of a garbage talent. So far here, Misha up in the top lane, falling a little bit low, so Beowulf having to move her back to safety. It's Leoric. But the Bruiser camp going to be picked up first here for PSISTORM, so that's a little bit of a backward pickup there from what you often see. You'll often see with that tribute being in the top lane, that instead they'll pick up the close camp, the siege camp. Which... You know what? Cool Cats and Kittens not subscribing to that theory either. They're going to go ahead and send this out a little bit early, so Greymane probably will be able to clear that out before the tribute comes up here in about 30 seconds. Well, really 60 seconds, but it starts in.
Right, yeah. And the Cool Cats and Kittens not starting their second camp yet.
And they may not. I mean, we're only 10 seconds away from the announcement.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they're busy clearing up the Bruiser camp here in the mid lane.
ETC's totally fine.
A little bit of a danger circle there for Alexstrasza, posting it up for ETC.
Wow. Alrac had actually gotten Greymane super low in the bot lane. Greymane just Hearth with like 5-10% health.
Yeah, and he's already gotten Kael'thas with this siege camp as well, down to about half health. Not quite gonna get this tower, I don't think.
Oh, Misha, no. Poor bear. I didn't miss the bear violence last game.
The siege camp was taken out there.
Oh.
The stall coming in from Alexstrasza, and Leoric now making his way in. Doesn't have his spooky hand, though. It's his spectral leech, whatever it's called. Lucio going to try to start it, though.
They were able to get a lot of damage onto Alexstrasza there, so she had to pop her dragon form. Oh, just getting to the fight. Huge silence.
And Lucio diving in gets the setup to kill on the Kael'thas there. It's Lunara the credit for the kill, but really that was 100% Lucio getting that push off to slow the boot back, and then, of course, Lunara finishing the job.
Oh, and Alarak completing his quest from that triple silence, by the way.
Chaos reigns, and of course, there was some change to his level 1 there, hitting an... is that the one? It is, yeah. So they changed the level 1, so now if he hits an enemy with a Discord Strike, he gets additional attack speed and self-healing. In the form of 50%. It's pretty hot. And he has other talents that build on his auto attack as well later, so be interested to see how he continues with this. Going into level 7 as well, gets that extra silence duration, so Alaric gonna be a pretty nasty force for Cool Cats and Kittens coming into these fights.
Yeah, and with it being such small areas around these points, it's he could definitely get some value.
Well, this is largely in favor here of Cool Cats, as Leoric in lane, Greymane in lane, and that's going to be a second tribute now. Looking for the ETC. Johanna's going to get the condemn. Lucio diving in once again with that boot. And I mean, if I'm Cool Cats right now, I head right to boss. Right? ETC's dead. You can afford to give that bottom tribute up if you need to, but top lane boss would be pushing probably about the same time that tribute comes up. So they could have potentially gotten that boss and maybe even gotten a second boss.
Yeah, Cool Cats Kitten said you are wrong. So...
Yeah. Indeed, they sure did. They said, yeah, well, you know what? We
oh!
don't have...
Oh my goodness.
I missed that. That was mid lane here.
It was. It was very pretty from Alarak.
Well, I'm sorry, Cathel, that we missed it. That gives them the advantage on a third potential tribute here. They do have the siege camp that's going to be going as well. ETC trying to get onto the Johanna, but Iron Skin used. And
Yeah,
it's full
this
5
is
on 5
still
now.
pre-10 for the Cool Cats and Kittens, but PSISTORM isn't contesting? Question mark.
A little surprising. Rexar showing up in the top lane there. They had the potential for a 5v4, but they didn't take it. Kael'thas and Greymane coming around behind. That's going to leave the other lanes exposed. Well, Greymane's actually heading up now. So just bot lane, and Alexstrasza completing her quest as she pops Dragon Form. Level 10's available here for Cool Cats and Kittens. And it's going to be the Falling Sword diving onto ETC there.
It's fine.
It's like we have a hero has left the battle moment, and so
Oh, this is
that.
a different person.
It is a different person. I wonder what server are we on? I mean, we're on a Western server, so whatever. So Lulu, how are you doing tonight? Huh? He's back.
Doing great. Watching some hots. It was a very, very quick turnaround time. We're almost ready to maybe get back into this after a word from our sponsors.
I'm just waiting for them to... Okay, good. I was going to say, to get confirmation from me. All right. Back into the game. Welcome back, Aero.
It's like we were just here.
15 seconds left in this curse. Surprisingly, very little damage in the mid lane. Gonna get the one tower. Obviously, the wall as well. I think Greymane had stalled that out pretty well. And Bruiser Camp going to be picked up here in the mid lane, so they'll have this for the defense. As Cool Cats and Kittens going to pull back.
We've got a pyro blast in this match, Aero.
You know, so one of the things that I discovered rather quickly with the tower changes is you drop a Phoenix and you're kind of in an awkward place. If you happen to be in the range of towers, start taking those shots. Now, the changes to the towers made it so that that's less likely to hit you because if you drop it, you move away. But it's still a threat. That being said, both teams here going to make their way onto their bosses. I don't think either team is going to be able to interrupt, you know, or threaten the other. So really just sending these bosses out and seeing what kind of value they can get, presumably to push with.
Yeah, it looks like the 4-man for PSISTORM is pushing with the boss in the bot lane. But Cool Cats and Kittens are backing, I guess, to defend said boss in the bot lane.
Yeah, I think ultimately that PSISTORM has the better like siege on this with having Greymane. That Inner Beast does do quite a bit. Lunara also did not take Nature's Culling, so she's not really able to siege. So Cool Cats and Kittens really want to find themselves in a position where they're fighting, want to engage on the enemy team to gain advantage. And this is not how you want to see it. Alarak getting booped back there, taking some damage is ETC. That's going to reset the stacks on Alarak.
Yeah, hate to see it, Aero.
Indeed. And you know, Alarak wasn't that far forward. Just when you've got an ETC on the enemy team, even a little bit far forward is enough.
This is true.
Now this tribute is on the side of PSISTORM. It's got a little bit of a defensive positioning for them. So with that kill, I would assume that we're going to see them kind of post up here. And I wouldn't mind seeing ETC a little bit farther forward so that he's able to zone out potentially for this tribute to be picked up. But also, you know, if the play comes in, set up the play for a kill. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Cool Cats and Kittens. They were just, you know, in the area.
Yeah. They said
Just
this is
chilling.
not our time.
Yeah, they had a catnap scheduled for that tribute, so actually, yeah, don't even care.
There you go. ATC rotating up, leading the charge toward Rexar. And Rexar did check that bush for a moment, but not quite long enough. But the rest of the team wasn't here. Rexar
Misha.
makes it out.
Misha makes it out too!
That is amazing. That, like, the whole team was... I don't know what happened to Greyman and Kelthos. I was too busy watching Rexar. But that should have been an easy kill. Entomb was used. They had the stun out onto to Rexar. Misha wasn't really anywhere nearby. And it looks like PSISTORM with that is going to go ahead and give this tribute. It's just the first one, so they have that opportunity so that Smoke can clear up the bot lane and stop this pressure.
Yup. And now there's not a whole lot left on the map available right now. PSISTORM gonna get their bruiser camp. Cats and Kittens are coming to invade.
Why not?
Oh,
they see
are.
ETC's not here. They see Leoric's not here.
Very.
And Dragon
Wait.
got interrupted there, so Alex Raza heading right back.
The falling sword Johanna though.
Sound
So
barrier
that's
was
the one
used as
thing
well, though.
that was left on the map.
Yeah, and ETC had to come through vision in that top area, and they knew that Leoric wasn't anywhere nearby. So this was a really well calculated play by Cool Cats and Kittens, and it's going to give them the second tribute, their next curse. And we're going to pause again. Okay, so now this is actually the other side now. Having some technical difficulties. Just a tough day for Blizzard Games, huh?
Yes. Are you talking about just because of this match, or did other things happen that I'm unaware of?
No, just this. Maybe it's just Western servers. Maybe, like, I don't know, maybe there was an earthquake in California sinking into the ocean, saying for decades.
Yeah. Seems logical.
Could happen. So,
Oh, they didn't
what
even
did-
spell.
What did
McDonald's,
you
right.
do with? And Lulu, did you have any fun, exciting events planned, or were you busy playing the stay-at-home social distance?
Well, it was my boyfriend's birthday and then my birthday, and so we did some fun stuff.
Nice.
And I hung out with my cats a lot.
There you go. It looks like
and we're back in the game just in time for the mid-fort to fall in like 3 seconds after I finish saying that, so the timing is not as exciting.
Do you want to keep talking?
Hey,
There you
right
go.
there. Fort fell. Boom. Perfect timing. Nailed it.
Absolutely perfect timing. So that
Oh,
gives
wow.
them now 3 forts down.
Yeah, and still, PSISTORM actually beat them to level 16. Barely, and I mean, it's not a window to do anything with, but still. They got there first.
Sure did. And that's going to give Kelthos here a little bit more value. He's got now Ignite, so he's able to throw out those Flame Strikes and get the free living bomb. Lunara does have that spell armor for the Pyroblast, but as we've seen from both teams all day, Lunara doesn't turn it off. So ultimately, that spell armor is not going to help against the Pyroblast. It's going to get a couple of ticks of living bomb, and that's probably about it.
You know what helps with Pyroblast? Sound barrier.
It does, and there it goes. So Pyroblast is on the table now. If anybody gets low, here comes Lifebinder out onto ETC. ETC's gonna look for the mosh. Gets a 3-man mosh with the Entomb.
Huge mosh pit.
They get 2 kills out of that, but the rest of the backline here for PSISTORM getting very low. Looking for the Descolada. Can ETC finish the job? Not quite. 45 health there as Johanna getting kept alive by the Lucio.
Oh, we also lost Misha in the process. Rest in peace, Misha Bear.
So this is another opportunity. They just won this fight right here. Boss play. Let's go. You see Ron calling for it, saying, get over here. Earlier, Cool Cats and Kittens had the opportunity. They didn't take it. PSISTORM's not going to make that same mistake. And this boss goes into a keep. This is their best lane. And we do see now Cool Cats and Kittens heading to their boss, but they don't quite have the same boss clear. So with PSISTORM sending it out, this could be a big problem for Cool Cats and Kittens if PSISTORM heads up there quickly.
Yeah, and the tribute that's spawning in 10 seconds is curse point for either team here.
And even if both teams get their bosses out, this still would potentially favor then PSISTORM. Because their boss is the farther one away.
Oh, they don't get the boss in time.
ETC's gonna power slide in.
Oh no!
Does get the pause on the channel, but looking for the face melt. No face melt. Can't push them off. Kathel falling very low, gets a big silence, but it's ETC falling. Alarak going down. Kael'thas falling right behind. Desperado falling to the living bomb. But it's still going. Ron trying to push them off. Does get the knockback, but everybody's just dying.
What? Okay. Wow, so much happened there. Full team wipe of PSISTORM, which means Cool Cats and Kittens gets the curse. They've got their boss in the top lane. Their keep in the bot lane's gonna be okay. It's at half health, but you know, it'll live.
If Cool Cats and Kittens had a little bit more damage, this could have potentially been game. I don't think it's going to be game, but it's a lot of damage.
Yeah, they need to be
the
careful not to die here. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if ETC didn't have his knockback there, or if they were waiting for like the Entomb because the Entomb maybe blocked him out or something, but that was so close. Cyan was all of a quarter of a second away from stealing that boss away, but they just couldn't quite finish the channel.
Yeah, the good news from PSISTORM is that since only 2 people from Cool Cats and Kittens were left alive, they couldn't really do a whole lot with that curse. They get the 1 keep where the boss had been, but they don't get any damage on the core. Mid keep is low, but that's really the only other thing that came from it.
And both teams are approaching level 20 here. So we've got Lunara using that Sentinel. Is it a Sentinel Wisp? It's not. So it's just a regular old Wisp. Making sure that they can pick up this Bruiser Camp. That's a double Bruiser Camp going into this keep in the mid lane. I expect that this keep should go down. Doesn't have a lot of health. Rexar throwing out the boars, gets the root. Looking at the Alexstrasza with that stun. Lifebinder coming out too late, but there's the Buried Alive. ETC getting the mosh as well onto Johanna, but the Sound Barrier going to finish the engagement there as Falling Sword used to get out. Kathel might be in a little bit of danger here. Is getting slowed. The Gravity Lapse is going to get the kill.
Oh no, there goes Kathel. Bye, bud.
So 1 for 1. And once again, we have a hero that has left the battle. Who it is this time?
It's Kathel. That's why I said.
That's why you said there goes. Yeah. This is definitely a rough game. Both teams having some technical difficulties, whether it's disconnects, sound quality, lag. We are on a Western server, so my ping is all of 70. I don't know what yours is, Lou, but it's not too bad here, even for the East Coast. I can't imagine it should be too bad for them. Control Alt F.
Oh, ping. 57.
That would be the one.
Look, it's really tiny font, and I
It
have
is.
very bad eyes.
Hopefully we'll get, let's see. So 2 o'clock. I'm starting the clock. I don't care if the other team's starting the clock. I'm starting the clock. Yeah, Beowulf throwing the reminder out. Not I can't respond, so whatever.
I didn't know. Like, this is also how you can see where you're playing at. I didn't know that.
Mhm.
Site equals West. Interesting. Interesting.
You can see your FPS.
Ah,
All
we're
those
ready.
details.
We're going back to the game, Aero. Let's do it. Maybe this game will end before it's midnight on the West Coast.
Don't say that. I told Weenus I was gonna check in after the stream. I think he had 3.5
Oh, no, that's
hours
right.
to go.
He's
gonna be done
He's under
before
an
we
hour
are.
left.
Yeah.
No. I mean, do
Oh
you think he's
man.
still awake?
I'm hoping he's still alive.
This is true.
The guy was up to almost 30 shots in a 24-hour period before I left. Rexar with the boars,
Ooh.
questioningly, but here they
Lucio.
come.
Speedy boy Lucio coming in so they can get 2 kills. And not a third.
I mean, I was questioning it, but you know what? The team rotated up quickly enough that they were able to get it. The falling sword helped. Are they
Okay,
looking
so
to Ent?
come on, cool cats and kittens. What are you gonna do with this? You don't have the Alarak with you yet. He's gonna go get the tribute to make sure that PSISTORM can't get it. They act like they're trying to end, but they don't have like their numbers advantage here.
And they're split.
Or minions.
Yeah, like the front line went in, but Lucio and Lunara said, yeah, we're going back, and Alarak's not with them. By the time Alarak gets here, Kael'thas and ETC will be up very soon, so I don't like this engagement. And this is the type of engagement that loses you the game if they don't win it here.
Oh no. I think I can like actually see Alarak lagging.
All the more reason to be extra careful.
Yeah.
Hey, Spartan. Yeah, absolutely. No worries. We're joking about it. There's no doubt I'm tired, for sure. It's, after 2 o'clock in the morning here. But you know what? Love doing it. Love casting. These have been really fun games. They've been great games, very competitive games. So glad that we're here to watch these.
Beowulf promised fun games, and so far this match has delivered in all of them.
They're looking for the ETC. The problem is ETC has death metal, so they have to be extra careful. Silence onto Johanna, but they're all rooted because of the boss.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is not a fight you really want to take with the boss having aggro.
Well, there's ETC getting a mosh in the back line here. No follow-up. Gonna be the stun onto Lunara from the boss, but there's the death metal. Can they get it to work? The boss doing a little bit of work as well, but now it's turning on to Kael'thas. Boss MVP.
Yeah, I don't know if ETC meant to use the boss like that, but it actually worked so well. He had the mosh pit onto 3 people, and the boss was just hitting them.
It double-edged sword, because the boss also countered their initial engage pretty hardcore.
This is true.
And now PSISTORM, they lose the tribute. They're gonna lose their boss, and they're gonna pick up this siege camp. We're getting late. People, are judgment can be a little bit impaired as you get tired. Because even on the West Coast, this is approaching 11 o'clock. Actually, it's past 11 o'clock. Whatever. Math, it's hard. So they've got a 4v4, but they don't have their ETC frontline. He will be able to make it here sooner than Lunara, though. So we'll see. A lot of the ultimates are up for both teams. We haven't seen a... Have we even seen a Pyroblast at all? I don't know.
Not that I've noticed. Doesn't mean it hasn't happened.
So Leoric's looking for that buried alive entomb here.
Alarak is so ready too. Oh,
Here
there's the
come the
Pyroblast
roots.
coming out onto Lunara, but she's full health.
Yeah, there's the buried alive onto Johanna, and Alarak going in after Kael'thas. He's going to get the shield, also the Lifebinder, but that's going to leave ETC in the backline alone. Johanna able to get out of the mosh pit there. And this could be the beginning of the end. They're bringing down PSISTORM very rapidly with the poison from Lunara. Leoric, rather, likely to die in just a moment here. Gets just enough healing out of Alexstrasza to keep him alive. And Misha going to be fallen there. But boss on the core, and this is curse point. We're already at half health. These kills are just icing on the cake. And it looks like game number 3 going over to Cool Cats and Kittens.
Aero. When did we start? We started at 11. 2 hours and 6 minutes after we began, we have gotten to the end, and Cool Cats and Kittens are victorious.
Well, if you're gonna do something, do it right.
No, that team wasn't in this match. I don't think. No, they don't exist anymore. That's right.
Yeah, they're part of Bancho now. Bancho, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, let's see if we can snag maybe a little bit of some Beowulf in the lobby. We'll do a quick interview here. I'll meet you there.
Sounds good. Aero, we had our choice of any lobby in NGS for this. It's wild.
I can't imagine why. Seems a little crazy. Yeah, Lubidium, thanks for the follow. If you guys aren't following, make sure you hit that follow button so that you can get notified of other casts going on and enjoy this wonderful content.
Yeah, and if you want some cool dog emotes, hit the subscribe button.
Ooh, cool dog emote. Hey, and we are joined, in fact, by Beowulf. Welcome, friend. So we're tired, but how are you feeling?
Oh, I mean, that was quite the match. We're pretty tired ourselves, but I mean, it's exciting to get the win and to close out a series like that.
For sure. So I want to talk a little bit about the end of game number 3, just because there were some really exciting moments there. That boss fight at the very end, like the boss ended up being kind of the MVP for both teams, right? It countered their engage, but then when the mosh came out, it was just pummeling your team. How much of that was like, were you guys really worried, or were you like, hey, this is an advantage? Like, where did that go? What was your conversation like at that time?
Our conversation at that time was a lot about the lag and the disconnecting and the fact that one of our players was running about 10 seconds behind, just the amount of lag he was experiencing. So it was really like, we have to make the play and end this, because the longer this drags out, the more they're going to be able to take advantage of that. So it was really just like, we fight here and we end. It doesn't really matter how things are going. So it's happened to work out in our favor this time.
Awesome. Well, you know, that last comp, I'm going to pull up the comp here just so that I've got it to reference back to, but that last comp, the Lunara got a lot of value. Obviously, the sound barriers did as well. Johanna taking the Falling Sword got her out of danger at the very end of that game. But Alarak had some really monstrous silence combos, got a 3-man silence at the very beginning of level 4 to complete that quest immediately. And then, of course, you had the Rexar, which, you know, I want to highlight a play that you had that I was kind of scratching my head about. Top lane, it was like you versus, I don't know, 3 or 4 of them, and you pop your boars there. And to me, I'm saying, what's he doing? There's literally nothing he can do here except, I guess, slow them down. But then suddenly the cavalry shows up. It's Lucio, it's Johanna, it's Lunara, and you guys start getting kills. So how far in advance was that call made to make that play? Or did you just say, you know what, I'm rooting them here. If you guys make it here, great. If you don't, you don't.
That was pretty much the latter one was definitely the case. I knew they were in the vicinity of that camp on our side, and I saw the Kel'Thas step forward, and I'm like, I've got Root, Stun, and Slow. He's going to be there for a while. So I just shouted, KT's out of position! KT's out of position! And they showed up right on time. So
nice.
Worked out well.
So it really was just a combination of like, I hope that you can make this work because I'm going to do my best to make it work, and it worked out, right?
It's the beauty of the Rexar Engage, though. It's so low. I mean, I don't want to say low effort, but low commitment. You know, what happens if that Engage goes bad? They kill my bear. Worst case scenario. So I'm always happy to throw out an attempt.
Yeah, and it's a short cooldown, so be it. It's 60 seconds. So game number 1, let's see. So go back to my notes here. Game number 1, we were on BOE, and on that one you played Rexar as well. Had a few struggles with Misha. You know, we didn't quite call PETA, but we were getting close. Misha just getting kind of taken out in a lot of those fights for good reason. I mean, you certainly threw her to the wolves to save some other heroes. But how much of a struggle were you having against Zool, or were you feeling like you really were holding your own and actually winning that match?
I think that one is an interesting one. I think it tends to go in Rexar's favor, just because he can bully Zool, and you know, it's tough to win the modern solo lane. Like, I think I got slightly more tower damage than he did before objectives and everything smashed through. You know, I wouldn't say it's an amazing matchup, but yeah, I think there's a good reason why the Zool was something that we were worried about in that last game.
Sure. Well, and they banned out the Rexar the game too. So I mean, I imagine that they felt that you performed well on it and made it very difficult for them to do so, putting you onto the Ragnaros in game 3, and you know game 2. Game number 2, obviously they ended up winning that game, and you know, there's a whole bunch of times where I think that they should have won earlier, and I give a lot of opinions about things that folks were sleeping on, just probably because I would have been like to sleep myself. But but game number 2 was a lot of CC combos, and I mentioned it, you know, in the draft that, you know, they had a really fantastic CC combo. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. You guys didn't have quite the same CC combo as you did in the first game. So, you know, game number 2 starts off kind of, you know, you're not getting the protectors, but you're not really losing the game. You're still in the game. And then 20 hits, and then it's a very difficult time. Was there anything, like, what was your conversation like when you're discussing amongst yourselves after maybe the first time? You know, how do you avoid, you know, losing these fights, knowing full well that you had a DC in that game as well?
Yeah, the tough part for that was kind of cracking, like you said, their CC combo. You know, they had that great ability to, you know, both have the CC to, you know, peel off our tank when he dove, and still, you know, lock down whoever Lunara had gotten low in her dive. So it just felt like they really had our number that game. And big shout out to PSISTORM. You know, like you said, they had the tools, but they really executed on it in terms of winning the team fights they needed to win. Maybe not necessarily the decisiveness of their ending.
Right. I do want to say, and I may take away a little bit of Lulu's thunder when I bring this up, I don't know, but the protects from Desperado, that salvation was a great pick, and worked out every fight pre-20. It was absolutely, you know, fantastic play, so do want to just point that out. It was support.
He was our DC that game as well. So that was really rough. He literally said, "Guys, I can't time the heals anymore. I can't get the invuln out in time," and just started losing fights.
Yeah. Lulu, any questions for Beowulf?
Yeah. So, cool cats and kittens. New to NGS. Are you guys a new team? How long have you been together? How'd you come together?
Definitely new to NGS. We've been playing together as a group for years now. Probably since we got into HOTS, probably about 4 years ago now. Very casually, you know, dabbled in a couple of one-off tournaments and got smashed, and decided just gonna chill. So we've been playing unranked together for about 4 years now, and decided to make the leap to a competitive form.
Very nice. That's all I got, Aero. It's late.
Fair enough.
God, thank you guys also for sticking with us on this one. It's definitely about as late as it gets.
It was a lot of fun.
It was. Yeah, you guys promised good games. These were good games.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You delivered on the promise of fun, exciting games.
My exact promise was fun drafts and questionable gameplay. So I think we really hit all of the promise points there. So
I agree.
You just didn't know you were predicting the lag issues.
Oh gosh, yeah. I need to be more careful with what I say in that case. I don't want to bring any more of this bad juju down on us.
No doubt, right? Well, good deal. The last question that I always ask, and I can't remember. I think that I cast one of your games earlier this season here.
You did, because I was on that cast too.
I thought we did. Okay.
Team Rainbow Strike, go!
There you go.
That was the big one.
So any particular moment, obviously there are a lot of them here in a 3-game series, but any particular moment that you want to highlight that was something that, you know, you feel maybe it perhaps wouldn't have been noticed, or that you just thought was a really fantastic play, that whether it's something your team did or their team did that you want to point out?
Gosh, I mean, yeah, picking out one moment is a really tough one. I just really want to say shout out to my team for recollecting, you know, after the disconnects and after the, you know, obviously that brings a lot of negativity just into the team chat environment, and recollecting ourselves and everyone just focusing up and, you know, bringing out the win. Big shout outs there. I think that's the thing that just stands out is the fortitude. Good job, team.
Sure. All right. Well, any I mean, you kind of started the shout outs. I don't know if you have any other actual shout outs, but if you do, feel free. The floor is yours.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to PSISTORM. Really amazing opponents. Really fun match. Yeah, we'd love to play you guys again when there's less connection issues on our side. So really looking forward to future matches against them. Shout out to all of the cool cats and kittens fans out there. We've got a few out there. Levidium, if you're there, remembered you this time. Thanks for being our #1 fan. Shout out to Monster Energy and Razer for not sponsoring us.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. There we go.
Thank you for the future sponsorship.
Good deal. Well, thanks for joining us, Beowulf. Have a wonderful night. Don't forget to report your match results, and good luck with the rest of your season.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Lulu, I'll give you a quick call back here.
Wait. Aero, we made it.
We did. And that's it. We're all done. That was 3 casts for me, 1 cast for Lulu, but what a cast it was. Lulu, anything you want to say to...
Casual 2 hours and 20 minutes here.
Yeah. Good thing that wasn't the first one. That would have been awkward.
Yeah.
But anything you want to say to Twitch chat before we take off for the evening?
You know. Hi, thanks for hanging out with us. Go to sleep.
Seems like pretty sage advice. Good deal. Well, thanks for stopping by, everybody. This has been a 2-1 victory. Cool Cats and Kittens over PSISTORM, Division D West.
Oh, Aero. Thanks for staying up and casting with me.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure. Always fun to cast with Lulu, and earlier today a little bit of Psychic. Glad we could do that.
Yes.
But everybody have a good night, and I'm going to check to see if there's anybody to raid. My guess is there may not be.
Hey, do you think there's any NGS games going still? Falcomer, you playing, bud?
I mean, if anybody, right? There are no games showing. In fact, even our game is not showing because it's so late. So let's see. Anybody? And oh, you know what? Send everybody over to Weenus.
Oh, Weenus! I almost forgot Weenus. He's got 40 minutes left.
Yep. All right, folks. Have a good night. See you again soon.
Bye.